The world keeps evolving, and personal finance does the same. In the past, there were rules of money that people followed, and if talked about now, would make no sense. And it's not that they were bad, but they just didn't stand the test of time. Following outdated money advice that has no place in our current economy can do a lot of harm to your finances. You'd end up working a lot harder and still see little to no progress. And if used continuously, they can be fatalistic to one's financial growth. And today we're talking about these outdated money rules. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Number 1. You need a high-paying job to get rich. People went to school to get the skills required to settle for a job, get rich through working in that position for many years, and make enough money to retire. This model is a relic of the past, and nowadays it's very hard to get rich from your salary alone. Today, more people find themselves working multiple jobs just to pay the bills. So, how many hours of work would one need to become rich? There are a few exceptions, of course, but in general, nobody gets rich simply on a salary alone. Number 2. You need a formal education to make money. Look around, and there are many millionaires and billionaires that prove you do not need a college degree to be successful or make money. College is an important aspect of people's lives, but its importance now is different from what it used to be in the past. During the industrial age, a formal education was needed to get the necessary skills in people to bring out the most qualified workers. But nowadays, critical thinking and entrepreneurship are what drive the economy, and you don't need the four walls of a classroom to gain skills in these areas. To make money now, you just need education, not necessarily one from a big fancy institution. Number 3. You need to save for retirement. You'll have to live a pretty frugal life to save enough money to have just a frugal retirement. As a result of the high cost of living and a generally longer life expectancy, retirement savings aren't really what they used to be. Retirement savings are useful if you're an employee, but it's best to have a retirement account where you divert some of your wages to regularly. It should be noted, though, that money saved in retirement accounts can be invested and bring back more interest than you would get from your money sitting in just a simple account. Number 4. You need money to make money. Money used to be the only leverage tool you could use to make more money, but as things stand today, there are new and unique ways to start projects and make money without very much of it in the beginning. Most people believe this rule because they try to go really big all at once. Most small startups look for loans and credit lines to launch, thinking that's the way you have to go. But if you actually start small and leverage your services to gain traction, you'll make money. Yes, having startup capital is really helpful, but it isn't as important as it's made out to seem. Nowadays, people make money by coding systems, providing services, and making content that is needed by others with little to no money required at the start. Number 5. Work the same 9-to-5 job for years to be financially stable. Once upon a time, people finished college to be employed, and their earnings were sufficient to let them lead a stable and prosperous life. The longer they stayed in the role, the more they earned with a healthy pension. But today, crippling student debt is the first thing adults have to face, and even with that, there's little to no job security like there used to be in the past. So, to be financially stable, you need to have side hustles or investments and be prepared for the unexpected. Number 6. Always pay with cash. Now, this rule was followed for many reasons. It helped to manage the budget, and it also helps you to get cheaper prices on goods. Now, yes, it's good to avoid accumulating debt by sticking to cash only. However, there are now a lot of benefits to paying with a credit card. The benefits of using credit cards include fraud protection and cashback bonuses, but its main advantage is the ease of purchasing things online. Number 7. Be debt-free before you invest. People have always sought to be debt-free before they invest, but this outdated rule is more of a problem than an effective solution. It's very hard to get out of debt by simply working hard, earning money, and paying your dues. You have to find a way to make your money work for you, and investment is the way to do that. So more often than not, it's better to keep your debt aside and invest even small amounts so you'll be in a better position to complement your payments with your investment returns. Number 8. Have an emergency fund that can last 3 months. An emergency fund is a safety net for unexpected situations, and it's been a lifesaver for many people. Nothing ever really goes as planned, so it makes sense to keep a substantial sum of money to guide against unforeseen circumstances. But the pandemic has shown us that emergencies can be long-term and that funds can easily be depleted. So while 3 months is ideal, to be on the safe side, you should have funds that can last at least 6 months' time. Number 9. Wait to buy low and sell high. Everybody talks about buying low and selling high, but if we're strictly to follow this mentality, there will almost never be an opportunity to buy. After all, there's always a low price to the current market. In fact, if you look at the stock market and indexes after major crashes, at some point, it's almost always in an uptrend. You should buy into the market when you're in the right position to do so, because if you wait for the market to go low, you might end up sitting on the sidelines and missing out for years. Number 10. Don't rent what you can buy. You've heard this before, that if you can afford to buy something, to buy it instead of renting it whenever you need it. This goes from housing and real estate to machinery, cars, just about everything. Understandably, long-term ownership is good, but it doesn't make much sense when you've got to start paying maintenance fees on something you don't use very often. So if it's going to be used for a short period and you won't need it after that, it's better off to just rent it instead. Number 11. Don't pay someone to do something you can do yourself. In the 90s, it was fairly normal for people to do different tasks and house chores on their own. It was cost-saving, and everyone was encouraged to learn practical skills. But in our world now, and with the amount of technology that's being incorporated into everything, it can be costly to fix things yourself when you can just pay a professional to do it. Also, time is money, and the time spent fumbling around with tasks could be used on more serious endeavors. Number 12. You need a financial advisor to successfully invest. In the past, if you wanted to invest, you needed a broker, a financial advisor, sometimes an accountant, and many other intermediaries. With the turn of the century, novel ways to trade profitably have adapted. There are plenty of apps and websites out there. You're fine without a financial advisor, and you could also use robots and technical analysis. Remember though, just always invest in things you actually understand. Number 13. Make a certain amount of money at a certain age range. If you oversimplify things, setting a benchmark age to make an amount of money isn't that bad, but instead of focusing on age, you should instead set short-term and long-term goals that you can work toward gradually. They're a much better yardstick for success and won't leave you feeling like you're a failure if you don't meet these arbitrary benchmarks. Number 14. Only spend on the essentials. Truly, there are times when you need to cut back on your spending to have a better financial position. In the past, if it wasn't making any obvious benefit to your life, you were advised not to purchase it. But nowadays, you're encouraged to spend on yourself once in a while. It's easy to get caught up in trying to save every single penny, but you end up depriving yourself of things. So it's important to come up with a good balance, so you feel like your needs and wants are still being met, but you're not overdoing it and putting yourself into financial distress. Number 15. Your hobbies shouldn't make you money. We've all got hobbies we dedicate our free time to. In the past, people were advised to separate their work from their hobbies, but nowadays, hobbies are a great way to complement your work and bring in some extra cash. While most of us don't encourage hobbies with the intention of earning money, some of them can develop into successful side hustles or even full-time hustles that provide a steady source of income. And as you might have noticed, none of these rules were outright wrong. They just didn't age so well. Money plays an important role in our lives, and as technology advances, new ways to manage our finances will come up. Money rules that make sense to us now might be discarded in the future, so we should always keep an open mind and be flexible in our financial decisions. The concept of money is a topic that many people find hard to discuss adequately. Your perception of what money is affects every aspect of your life. If you'd like to examine the ways you and others think about money, we made the video called 15 Ways to Think About Money, which you can check out after this one. Thank you for watching this video, Aluxer. If you found it valuable, consider subscribing to our channel and joining our awesome community. And if you're still hungry for more, we handpicked this video for you to watch next. Or head over to our website for more amazing content. See you tomorrow.